I hate you.
What?
First and foremost, I hate you, Aaron.
Why?
I'll
You've
talk about
got
it
the greatest saga in all of
I'll talk
professional
about it
wrestling.
on the podcast. Oh my God.
Yes, save everything.
Welcome to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. Happy Mother's Day! It is a big day for all you mothers out there. We are here. I am joined, as always, by Cookie.
Yes, sir.
Big Mike.
Yep.
And Tolbert.
Oh yeah.
So welcome to the podcast, boys. What are we doing this week? What are you doing specifically to make Amanda feel all loved, Mike?
Well, so can I go through what I was gonna do?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah. So originally my plan was, because my wife I can't sleep in for anything. She can sleep in forever. So I was gonna get the boys up, put them in the van, drive, go pick up breakfast, and like be out of the house for like hours. That was my plan. Like come back at like 10:30 or 11 o'clock. This morning we wake up to the sounds of Elliot throwing up on the floor.
Yeah.
and he's calling for mom. So mom goes and gets him, and over a multi-episode event, we're like up for an hour and he's just puking. We have no idea why. And she comes back to bed and I go, "Happy Mother's Day."
God
so
bless
that was
you.
the start of our Mother's Day. I ended up making her breakfast this morning instead. Elliot seems fine. We have no idea. He was fine when he went to bed. He was fine when he woke up.
He just got hammered last night.
Yeah, he just had to get those three out onto the carpet because he's not aware enough to realize he's supposed to throw up in a bucket yet, even if you give him a bucket.
Sometimes I'm not either, Mike. So it takes time.
I've seen Tolbert go from bucket size to little Dixie cup size. Anyway.
Yeah, that sucked, Aaron. That was terrible.
No, he did. He threw up in a Dixie cup. That
It was a little bigger, man. It was more like a 16-ouncer.
Well, anyways,
Either way.
Mike, anything else? Are you doing anything instead of that?
No, because we're going on vacation, a week or two, and she just wants to hang out with the kids. So sounds good.
Tolbert, are you doing anything for Mother's Day?
Called my mama. I sent her a card in the mail. And I did it so last minute. I had to overnight it to Fayetteville, which is an hour away.
Yep.
Hour and a half away.
But the good thing is, I think that all mail goes to Fayetteville. I think that's like the regional thing.
And they still make you pay to ship it there.
That's ridiculous.
Overnight. But I did give my dad a heads up that there was like an official envelope, because you have to put the card inside a big overnight envelope and send it. I was like, just give you a heads up, Dad. You're not getting subpoenaed or anything, but there's official mail coming to the house on Saturday. Just sign.
Are you Mr. Tolbert? No.
But Mama I got her a very large Lowe's gift card so she can plant her garden and work on the house. I'm very happy mom. I called her this morning. She's good to go.
Tolbert, I would think that would be expected to have a belated Mother's Day gift from you.
I'm
Maybe
always
your
on
brother's
it.
on time.
No, opposite. Exact opposite, dude.
So you were the one that's on time.
Always. In fact, I was talking to my mother. I was like, "Hey, you heard from my brother yet?" And he goes, "Oh, no, not yet. I'm sure he'll call me around 8 o'clock this evening." And she sighed. And then we were, just kind of poking fun. And he goes, "You know what he got me one year? He put $7.27 on my Amazon gift card online."
What was the $7.27 for?
I guess that's all the money he had at the moment, which,
As a college student, I'm sure that it was a thing. Him
But
being
yes,
a lot of times, big brain does not equal big heart. Sometimes, like if you read comic books, the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards always puts his studies before his family.
are you saying I have a big heart and small brain?
You're like the Thing.
Ooh.
You're like a big, lovable man monster.
Thank you, I think.
Anyways, Cookie, what are you doing for Mother's Day?
What a terrible compliment.
That was terrible. That was a backhanded compliment.
Hey, Tolbert, you got a big heart, tiny brain.
That was the biggest backhanded compliment ever. What I'm doing for Mother's Day, I'm going to be calling my mother after this podcast is over. I am not fully vaccinated, so that's the only reason why I didn't go see her in person yet. So I'm being responsible.
There you go. Is she fully vaccinated?
We gotta have a talk. I'm not sure she's fully vaccinated either yet.
Wait, and why not?
She may have one dose and not the other yet. I'm not sure.
Well, you guys together would make one full dose. You should go see her.
I don't know.
That math adds up.
Yeah, that math works. That
podcast math.
That's the Varna math.
That you've got a 25% chance of 50% chance, and then Kurt Angle's in there, which is 25% less, and then Cookie's in there, which is a 75% chance, a 66% and a third chance. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot the whole Steiner math thing. What did you do this week, Cookie? Anything?
Nothing special this week, boys. I didn't burst any bubbles. It's just been a boring, like I said, house hunting week. So Cookie's just been house hunting. Maybe that was my bubble this week.
Cookie, how's that going? It sounds like that's a little bit more stressful than you would like for it to be.
Listen, man, when you're looking at apartments and you're like, everything is in the $2,000 range, like everything. Rent is like, base rent is like $2,000 to $3,000. It's ridiculous, man.
Does your group or class like have a Facebook page where people are, trying to cohabitate or something like that you can reduce your costs?
Yeah, but I already have 3 people that I'm bringing down there. So it's like me, Diane, and my boy Chase. So we already have 3. So
wait, you got a boy Chase that's going to follow you to Denver?
You have a posse?
I got a posse coming.
You're like
does he know
Floyd
you're broke?
Mayweather?
Wait, what?
Cookie Mayweather.
We're all gonna be broke, man. That's the fun of it. We're just gonna say fuck it. We're young enough. We can just all go there and say fuck it. Get a job.
Man, no offense to your boy Chase. I'm about to shit on him hard, but like, what? Like, does he just got nothing else going on in his life that he's just gonna follow Cookie?
He literally,
fuck it, bro. I'll go with you.
Yeah, dude. It's cool. We'll go check it out together.
I'm so done with North Carolina. He was like, I just want to get out. He was like, if you're going, I'm going. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Does Chase have one friend? And then
he's the only friend that's like just that desperate to get out of North Carolina.
Ride or die, man. I guess. Hey, props to Chase. Chase has a big heart, tiny brain too.
Tiny brain. Definitely has a tiny brain.
Tolbert, I didn't mean that in a mean way when I said that.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Oh, now you're backtracking.
Tolbert, what else did you do this week? Anything?
Man, we got some, as you know, we run with a small crew at work. So we got a couple people out of town. So I've been covering. So I've been on the night shift grind the past like 4 nights. Got a couple more to go. So I've been
work tonight, Tolbert?
Yes, sir. So I've been night stalking, man. Been going to bed at like 4 a.m.
I can't believe you were actually able to wake up on time for this today.
I got up to make some coffee. My beautiful wife wanted breakfast, so I appeased her and I watched a little bit of the F1 race.
Oh, the F1 race. Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
Spanish Grand Prix on.
Mike, what else did you do this week?
Work, clean the shed, went golfing, just loving life, loving not having school to worry about.
Boys, I got an A- in that class I was very nervous about.
You went for the plus, but I take the minus.
I take the minus. I still get full reimbursement from my my place of employment. They give you if you get an A, you get full reimbursement. I still get full reimbursement. So
they take you for ice cream too.
Yeah, they do. I also get a personal pan pizza at the Pizza Hut.
Oh my god.
And $10 over
your report card on the refrigerator in the break room.
Yep, I get a free donut at the Krispy Kreme if I want to go take it there.
How much Planet Fun money do you get?
Oh man, Planet Fun! I haven't been there in so long since that's like patient 0 of the coronavirus, I think. So I don't know if I want to go to Planet Fun right now. So, boys, this week I am going to the mountains. We are going to Lake Lure. We're going to be having a fun time this week. It is Jasmine's 30th birthday. We are going to be going to the mountains. I will be hopefully letting you guys know my progress on everything this week. We're going to be kayaking on the lake. We're going to be going to some like couples massage thing with a beautiful overlook of the mountains. And that's about it. I'm probably going to be bootlegging a lot of wrestling up there. Yes, Cookie.
Just make sure you hang your food high enough. You know, from my personal experience, bears like to come out. So I just want to remind you. So someone smart enough, like I think his name was Mike, told me that you got to hang your food high enough so that the bears don't come and get your food.
Yeah,
Cookie,
I also think Varnum will be inside.
Yeah. I definitely, we have a cabin. But Cookie.
Okay. Never mind. I'm sorry.
I would like to inform you that actually was not a bear. That was Chase trying to find food.
Get used to it, especially now that he gets hopped up on some legal weed.
Yeah,
he ain't gonna keep nothing in the refrigerator, man.
I'm sorry, but that was Chase. Anyways,
motherfucker, I knew it.
We're going to the mountains this week. It's gonna be fun. I do want to bring up one thing, and I told Jasmine I was gonna bring this up. This week, Jasmine really likes to watch My 600-Pound Life. Okay?
I can't do it. I just can't.
Do that.
I know. And I know it's a tough show to watch. Well, this week, it was a follow-up episode. The guy had the surgery. He's losing weight, right? This guy went to a zoo in Cameron, North Carolina. Have you ever been there, Tolbert?
Yes, I have. It's where the Hardy Boys live.
Well, have you been to the zoo there?
No, I haven't. I didn't know they had a zoo in Cameron, North Carolina.
It is a big, beautiful zoo in Cameron, North Carolina. They're showing cutaways of everything. There's a really obese tiger that just wants to kill himself. There's a giraffe, a zebra. But most importantly, there was a monkey that they had on a leash that they were walking around, right? Did you guys know when monkeys have children, they develop big, beautiful breasts?
I think I've seen some footage, maybe.
Jasmine and I had to watch
common
this
thing
clip.
in nature.
We had to watch this clip multiple times. This monkey had the best rack I'd ever seen in my entire life.
What?
Were you popping chubs over there versus the monkey?
I was concerned. It was just very nice shape. But Jasmine wanted to look at it again. We said, wait a minute. Did that monkey have tits?
I thought the story was going somewhere else.
Yeah, that was. I don't even know what to say.
What are you doing, step monkey?
Yeah, did the patient get stuck at the zoo and the monkey unstuck him?
All right. Well, I thought it was going to be a little bit funnier than it ended up being.
You're sick. You're sick, Aaron.
It's not that sick. I don't understand what the deal is. Anyways.
Yeah. Let's just move on.
I'm over here Googling monkey tits.
Yeah, like on Mother's Day? On Mother's Day, Aaron. Ugh.
Do you know who I guarantee has looked it up? Chase.
Yeah, 100%. Tiny brain.
Wait, can we go back? So, Aaron, with all these backhanded compliments and things, so did you tell Jasmine that was the best pair of tits you've ever seen?
Oh, Jasmine agreed.
Okay, because that's a a dig at her.
Well, yeah. Jasmine was looking at it and she said, "Yeah, I agree. Those are that monkey's got better tits than I do."
What kind of tits does this monkey have?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to pull it up. I'm gonna have to send a GIF this week to you guys in the group chat.
Looking forward to it.
Also this week we got together for Blood and Guts.
Blood and guts. Blood and guts.
Tell us what happened on Wednesday night, Blood and Guts.
You say me?
Yes, Mike.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that.
Our gracious host.
Yeah, what we got together, we did enchiladas and rice. It's like Spanish rice, and then Jasmine
tequila.
Jasmine made Aaron make corn, and then Tolbert made margaritas. It was delicious.
It was great. I pooped corn for like 3 days.
I'm still pooping corn.
The old days were chef kiss though.
And then and then we got to watch Blood and Guts, one of the greatest live weekly shows I've ever seen.
I have to say, for a Wednesday night, I was pretty jacked up on a Wednesday night.
Pay-per-view quality. It was great.
We all enjoyed it. We got together. We got to watch a good wrestling match that we had been anticipating for a little bit. The Blood and Guts match was a lot of fun.
It was very bloody.
It was very bloody. FTR got in there. Santana and Ortiz got them all bloodied up. It was good. We had fun.
Aaron took a tequila shot.
Yeah, Aaron took a tequila shot. Got himself nice.
We
and
didn't
loose.
tell him it was a double. It was a double tequila shot.
Was it a double?
Mm-hmm. The tall glasses, man.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Nice.
That's why I was walking around naked with Hudson Venus over there.
Oh yeah, Hudson Venus.
Hudson Venus.
Did you take a picture of that?
I've got a picture. Mike, do I have permission to post Hudson on the Instagram?
Is it a front or back shot?
Oh, he's front shot with the towel on.
Oh, if he's got a towel on, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's not naked.
Yeah, he can't have his dick out. Like, come on now.
Hello, babies.
Hello, babies.
So we
I
got
did
together.
do the
We
little
had
towel spin
fun.
when it fell off, though.
Say what?
I did the little towel spin when it eventually fell off him, and I did the little towel spin, Val Venus towel spin.
Next week he's going to be posting about QAnon. So
Baby steps.
all right. So this week I wanted to talk about mothers in wrestling. I know it's something that Becky Lynch is a mother. A bunch of women wrestlers have children. I wanted to talk about real awesome mothers this week on $2 Steak. We did not get to talk about Buff Bagwell's mom. What was she on?
Well,
she's still up there. She's on the pole.
Oh yeah, she's still on the pole, man.
She's still up there. So we couldn't get her on the podcast.
I heard that Buff had breakfast catered up there, though.
Okay, good.
For Mother's Day.
I wonder if he overnighted a card up to the top of the pole.
$7.27.
A good son would.
Send her some liver pudding and a nice biscuit up there.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, we're talking about three very special mothers this week. But let's talk about some wrestling. All right, for our first mother match of the week, Big Mike, you have got Somebody Call His Mama, Shelton Benjamin against Big Show.
Well, way to just bury the lead there. The whole video plays up to the Big Show spot, and you just ruined it.
Damn, Aaron,
dude,
sorry.
Literally
man.
Like this segment is not very long, and you just killed the whole damn thing.
This is kind of the dynamic you and Aaron have. So
to
break that.
I had this whole thing going on in my head, and how I was gonna. Damn it! All right. So
I can redact that if you'd like.
It's fine. It's fine.
He has the power.
We're live, pal. All right. Vince is waiting backstage. We get an intern or somebody comes up to him and says, "Hey, someone's here waiting for you." And Vince is like, "All right, let's tell him a minute or so." Apparently, Vince thinks it's Candice. Anybody care to give me some background on?
At the time, Candice Michelle was WWE's she was kind of the trashy hot diva that also had a Playboy centerfold at the time. So she was like the sex kitten of WWE.
Gotcha. And Vince at this point, I don't think the company's public, so it's private, so he can kind of do whatever he wants. And I think thinks he's going to get lucky with Candice. So he starts undressing, shirt down to his belly button, turns around, starts unbuckling his pants. We hear the door open, and Vince is just like, "Hey, I just want to feel your presence," and starts doing a song and dance. And he turns around, practically with his dick out, and all of a sudden you hear, "Oh, sugar, Mr. McMahon," and it's Shelton Benjamin's mama, straight from South Carolina,
Orangeburg, South Carolina.
And she said, essentially, she's there to, try to get Shelton a match. The video clip is just full of like, you have to watch it a couple times to catch a little bit of like, especially what Shelton says, because he's kind of quiet in the background. And you just hear Shelton go, "Why your pants down?" And his mama goes, "Mind your business."
Very problematic video clip. Probably not being transferred over to the Peacock app.
Probably not. We this Shelton Ben, and I don't think this is his real mama.
It is not. They hired this lady.
This lady was just way too clean and direct. I mean, granted, like Shelton's mama might be like this, but this lady has spent some time around just like, it felt like old Southern black women.
I believe at the time, Big Mama's House 2, starring Martin Lawrence, had just come out, and they said, let's give him a big, lovable Southern mom.
And Shelton's just kind of like, hey, kind of embarrassed about this whole situation. His mom's trying to lobby his boss for a match on TV, and his mom goes, "Mind your business, grown folk talking." I'm like, yeah. And again, she's lying. She says, "It doesn't matter who you fight, because you're Benjamin. You're gonna whoop that ass." She's talking him up, which is really nice. So she tells him like, "Hey, you're gonna get a match. Vince hasn't agreed to it yet, but you're gonna get a match. So you go get ready. You go get warmed up." And then she goes, "Don't eyeball me, boy. You walking on the devil's ground."
I had never heard that expression before.
Neither have I, but I can tell you that she has, because she definitely wasn't just coming up with these on the spot.
Yeah. The devil's ground.
Long story short, Vince does agree to let Shelton have a match on Monday Night Raw. And then, Shelton's gone, and, Mom and Vince have a little one-on-one. And she tells Vince, "When you ready for some chocolate thunder,
oh God, some
brown sugar, look me up." And Vince is clearly disturbed, has no idea how to handle what it is that just happened.
Would we like to say that was empowerment on Shelton Benjamin's with mom at that point? It did seem that Vince had some PTSD from that event.
I don't think, Vince at this time had really ever been talking to by a woman like that. So, it clearly ate him at his core. He wasn't sure how to take the whole situation.
Yes, Cookie.
I think not too long after this, Vince did hit up Shelton Benjamin's mama, because if you remember, he started wearing do-rags, started saying yo, 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 stuff like that. So I
dropping N-bombs.
Yeah, dropping in.
So you believe, Cookie, that this gave Vince the card?
Yeah, I think this gave Vince a one-time usage of the card, and then it was immediately revoked once we heard how bad he sounded.
So for future reference, if you make love to a big, beautiful woman of a different race, you get the card?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the semantics worked with them. She's a beautiful black woman. Maybe that's what she said. Maybe she said, "You know what, Vince? You can say it one time. Drop it one time for him. One time." I don't know.
Did he get that approval notarized? Did he have to show that to Booker T?
I think Booker T ripped it up as soon as he saw the piece of paper.
All right, you get one, Vince. That was it.
So what you're telling me is that Hulk Hogan never made love to a big, beautiful black lady.
No, that was.
I guarantee you he is not.
Okay, noted. Yeah.
All right. Back to this match that happened January 16th, 2006 in Raleigh, North Carolina, in case anybody's caring. Shelton and his mom coming out. Man, his mom is hyped. She's so happy that her boy's on TV. And, she's just talking him up. She's like, "Oh, we whooping ass today. It don't matter because you're going to whoop that ass. It doesn't matter who's coming out because we don't know who's coming out yet." They're in the ring. They're hyped up. Shelton's kind of hopping on his feet. "Well, it's the big show." Clearly distraught now. Shelton and his mama. It's you can just see it visually. Big Show's coming out. He's got a wrap on one of his hands. Apparently Triple H busted it up with a sledgehammer, but it doesn't matter. He's one half of the tag team champions. Who is his partner?
I have no clue.
I don't know.
Crap, I can't remember either. He comes out with the belt on his shoulder though. Big Show gets in the ring and slowly walking towards Shelton and his mom, who are standing in the center, and they start slowly backing away. And Shelton's trying to hype his mom up now. He's like, hey, don't worry, Mama. It doesn't matter about his size. Give him a piece of your mind. And they just slowly walk back. And Big Show steps on the bottom rope, lifts up the middle, lets his mom kind of slide out. And she just looks at Shelton and says, you do the best you can, son. You do the best you can.
And that in itself, Mike, it is a good representation of what a good mom does. On this Mother's Day, as we honor moms, they are a great source of encouragement to their children. Even in the face of adversity, they know that their child may get destroyed by this 7-foot, 500-pound giant, but they're going to give it their all.
It was Kane. Kane was his tag team partner at the time.
That would have been a terrible tag team to go against because those two guys are terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, they could have just run through the whole company. Match starts. Shelton is just doing his damnedest. He's giving Big Show a little offense. Big Show just kind of feeling it out, doing Big Show things. I mean, he can absorb a lot. So we do get a couple spots where Shelton's trying to get some high power moves, goes off the corner rope. Big Show catches him, gets him ready for this choke slam, but it's with the hand that is hurt, so he can't finish it. Shelton seizes the opportunity, gets a couple more, I think like a couple drop kicks, a couple punches, tries to hit a crossbody, gets caught again. Big Show just ragdolls Shelton Benjamin, who is not a small man, with a fall away slam. Shelton slides out of the ring a little bit just to, get a breather. Big Show follows him out. Shelton slides back in. And we get Triple H interjecting himself. And Big Show just goes after Triple H because that's who broke his hand. And apparently that's what they're trying to do. Who knows? And Shelton gets the win by countout. A little confusing here because Triple H did hit Big Show, and Big Show then followed him to the back. Shouldn't it have been a DQ for Shelton then, and Big Show should have won?
I don't know if the ref actually saw that portion.
Okay.
Maybe the ref wasn't looking at the giant Titantron behind them.
Or maybe he was watching the live coverage and just saw the camera cuts and just missed the punch.
Right, yeah.
But that's it. That's the match. Shelton and his mama are dancing in the ring. They won. They slayed the beast, I guess.
Sure.
Or at least avoided him.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Mama Benjamin? Very lovable.
She clearly, like you said, she stole the show. You can tell in her voice early on, she's stern, but she loves him. She's trying to do her best to encourage him. She's always going to have his back. I am surprised that she didn't, try to interject with a chair or anything like that when Big Show was on the outside of the ring. But you could see the fear in her eyes a little bit too when he was, sizing her up. So, overall, I think it's a win for everybody.
I believe also Miss Benjamin said after the win, she said, "A win's a win, honey. We'll take what we can get."
Exactly. And that's what parents are for.
That's what parents are for. Cookie, do you remember what happened later on? Shelton Benjamin's mom got injured and had to ride in a wheelchair for the rest of her tenure. What happened there, Cookie?
Are you talking about what led her to the wheelchair?
Yeah, why was she in the wheelchair?
Didn't she fall off of something?
I think she did, maybe. And were there interactions with the boogeyman with her, I believe?
Oh, yes. I believe the boogeyman frightened her to the point where she could walk again. She miraculously got up out of that chair and ran through the building.
Oh, 2006 Monday Night Raw. It was
you have to love the boogeyman, man.
Mike, you got any social media this week?
Not No, we did a little bit of live tweeting on Blood and Guts, so check that out. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at $2 steak _. This week's kind of lull. I don't even know. Tolbert, did you post anything?
I don't think so. I posted something on Blood and Guts.
Yeah, Tolbert's been grinding, at work, so we don't expect him to do too much. We did. Tolbert, you want to talk about your Tito Santana drink?
Well, I did misspell it. Payne called me out on my misspelling. When you're trying to draw letters, it's much different than actually writing letters. So sometimes I miss stuff. But yes, I am starting a $2 steak cocktail series, and the first
you gotta shout out the $2 steak cocktail on the board though.
I'll do what I can.
And then you also have to put our Twitter and Instagram handle.
Just like shamelessly self-promoting at work.
Yeah.
I already get enough shit when I wear the $2 steak shirt to work. Like you're wearing your own shitty podcast shirt to work. Like,
yeah, you gotta self-promote, man. Brand awareness. Hits and shits this week. No shits, all hits. So we already talked about Blood and Guts. Again, between the parlay episode last week and then Blood and Guts this week, some of the best like weekly episodic wrestling that I've seen since I started watching wrestling 4 years ago. It's just super again. Yeah, it's super exciting to be a wrestling fan on Wednesday nights. Friday nights actually are doing a little decent too on SmackDown. If you guys want to check that out, it's getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out wrestling on AEW Wednesday nights, TNT, and Friday night SmackDown on Fox. Anyway, other shout out, Dark Side of the Ring. I got to watch that yesterday. The Brian Pillman episodes.
Yes.
Amazing. Again, Vice TV doing these documentaries on wrestlers. It's like shit particularly me didn't know, because I haven't been following it too much. And so I don't only know the history that we've covered kind of on the podcast or that I've looked at myself. So just hearing some of the crap that he went through, Brian Pillman, all that sort of thing, was pretty interesting. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. What'd you think of Melanie?
Oh, God.
Oh, the crack whore?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, I don't. So Brian Pillman had that major car accident, and he passed away because of overdose of painkillers. But when they did drug test him, all he had was his prescription painkillers in his system. You could definitely tell she was probably taking some of his painkillers along with some other stuff too.
Probably.
With all the residual, I don't know how much her residuals are on Brian's estate and all that sort of stuff. You'd think she would get her tooth fixed.
Jesus.
But she just seems like a terrible human being. She drove Brian's ex-wife to shoot herself. She just seems like a terrible person.
She is the ultimate heel of this story, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
is there something worse than a heel? Because I feel like she might be worse than a heel.
I mean, she's just a total terrible human being, and for her to be like, "Oh, I hope they forgive me," it's like, "Fuck you."
I do think one of the saddest but most powerful lines from that whole episode is Brian Pillman Jr. trying to reconnect, and he's like, "What am I supposed to do? Hate my mom for the rest of my life?" Like it's tough.
And shout out to his sisters and his aunt. They get together, and you see this a lot. We saw it with the Benoit episode, where you get somebody kind of takes over that matriarchal role, and it usually is kind of the wrestler's sister, or like somebody in the family that kind of holds these kids together. So shout out for the moms of the world, or the ones that become the moms, for that role, because I can't imagine being in those kind of crazy. My family is relatively stable when it comes to the average average person. So just to be in that kind of wild situation would be insane. And how his sister doesn't bring up that his mom made her mom kill herself is just insane.
Yeah. It's a crazy story. It's very interesting, and I think that they told it in a very balanced way.
Yeah.
So I felt that it was good.
One thing I pulled away from it is always lock your doors because the groundskeeper might stab your face.
Yeah,
off.
they never went into that.
Oh yeah.
They cut to a commercial right after they said this groundskeeper just breaks into this house while Brian's out and like stabs his wife in her face, and Brian doesn't like go kill this man.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like I thought like he was going to do a little stint in jail or some shit because he beat the shit out of this guy, and they just never go back to it.
Just always lock your doors.
Yeah, I grew up in Youngstown. I always lock my doors. Last shout out. So Dax Harwood did a little Q&A on Twitter the other night. I think he likes the tequila a little bit, and I think he was doing a little Q&A on Twitter. He said he wanted to wrestle Ishii. That would be his dream match, and I 100% am on board with that. I would pay a lot of money to watch Dax Harwood wrestle Ishii.
I believe that him against the Stone Pitbull would be one of the craziest matches.
We start a hashtag.
I legit would consider flying to Japan just to watch that match.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Anyway. I got my Vax card right here. Let's go.
He found it.
That's all the hits. That's my segment.
For the strong style cookie, you actually got a match this week. Nobody else really had full matches. You got the street fight between the best friends and Proud and Powerful.
Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. I love Santana and Ortiz, man. I feel like y'all shit on them a little bit. Usually when they're going against FTR.
I don't think I've ever shit on them.
I've never shit on them.
Aaron, I think I've heard you shit on them before.
I've never shit on Santana and Ortiz.
Okay, all right. Well, much like Blood and Guts, there was a lot of hype behind this street fight. Not as much, but there was still hype because we thought this was going to be a fucking epic match, especially with the back and forth trash talk. Let's see, Santana and Ortiz destroyed Trent's mom's van. They put blood all over it, stuff like that. They destroyed it. Didn't they put a sledgehammer through the windshield? Yeah. Oh yeah. And so it got personal. It 100% got personal because what is Trent's mom gonna drive now if she doesn't have her van?
That's the question. And that's why this segment is all for you, Cookie. This is your mom. It is Trent's mom. Now,
van's destroyed. So obviously this has to come to fisticuffs, but it can't be within a ring because they can't handle the rules of a ring.
No.
So it has to come to a street fight, boys. And you know what? Santana and Ortiz, they dressed up for the occasion. They're cultured. They dressed up as the dead presidents.
That's right.
You know? So I can't wait for this match. Let's break it down. Get to the countdown.
Cookie's top 4, number 1.
Number 1 is Ortiz goes through a fucking glass panel.
Yes.
Glass panel. And then after that, gets suplexed on a car. And then frog splashes, I think it was Trent, on top of the same car. What a start to this match. Like, this match started just balls to the wall. And that's how it has to happen. So I'm glad that's how they did this. I'm glad that's what they did with the psychology of this match. They were like, let's just fucking go for it. And whatever happens, happens. And you can tell they didn't have to think twice about moves. They were just like, we'll suplex you on this car. If my foot falls through the fucking back windshield, then so be it. And that's exactly what happened. But it made for just an unpredictable match, but a great match altogether.
So this was like peak coronavirus, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So can you imagine like Tony Khan just going up to some of those indie guys he was like employing that were wrestling on Dark and on Dynamite and just be like, all right, who's got the oldest car? Who wants me to just buy their car from them and just like paying them out cash just so they could fuck that shit up?
I can just imagine Pineapple Pete just like waving his hand in the air.
Like, me.
Please use my car.
I've got a 1986 Corolla, please.
Yeah. Whose windshield's busted? Whose windshield wants to be busted?
Right now, from driving to Charlotte every day, I would take that.
I got a couple cracks in my window too.
Yeah, same here. I gotta get that fixed before I go to Denver. By the way, boys, do y'all think a Toyota 4Runner can make it to Denver?
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, Cookie, if you can get that 4Runner to Denver, you could sell it for double what you paid.
Really?
4Runners in the Pacific Northwest and in Colorado go for top dollar.
That was a good investment, Cookie. Toyotas are good investments.
I mean, maybe not double. I don't know what you paid for it, but you could at least sell it for what you paid for it, if not more.
I paid $1,500 for it.
I guarantee you could sell that thing for more than that out there.
You paid $200 for that car?
No, $1,500.
That's still pretty damn good.
How many miles you got on it?
213,000.
Shit, I'll buy that for $1,500.
Yeah, I was about to say, Cook, man. I'll give you I got $1,500 in my wallet right now.
No. I need a car. I need a car out there. So I want
cash.
You can take 3 Greyhounds for $1,500, man.
No joke. You could definitely double your money up if you get that car to Colorado.
Chase might have to stay in the cargo hatch of the Greyhound.
Can we just call this like fuck? I don't know. We need to call this.
This whole episode's just going to be called Chase.
Yeah.
Is that CHASE?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Chase, this one's for you, you little parasite fuck.
Yes. Fuck yes.
Number 2.
All right. So you thought that the spear through the door was kind of hardcore, but that wasn't it. Did you know, like the super hardcore moment of this match, I think, was Ortiz being suplex through a guardrail. First off, it was a metal guardrail. I mean, it looked metal. I don't know what the fuck it was, but this is why I love street fights, and this is why I love this street fight, because they incorporated not only a door, which I've never seen before in a street fight, but I would imagine that there would be a loose door somewhere, but also a guardrail, because I would imagine there'd be a loose guardrail somewhere. So balls to the wall match, people getting suplexed and speared through fucking foreign objects. They didn't use just the cars. These guys killed the match.
Number 3.
But I think the moment that I knew that this match may have gone too far was when they took Trent and they launched him through a windshield.
That one was rough.
I think that was the moment that all of us texted in the group chat and was like, ooh, did you see that? But did you see that, though? Because his head really smacked that windshield. I thought he was going to go through it, honestly. I don't know. Do you guys remember that moment?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I remember watching this live. It was wild.
Yeah, I think for me, because you said it was like everybody was hyped for it. I didn't know if it was going to go well. I was just kind of like more cautiously optimistic that it was going to be a decent match, but I'm not that big on the best friends. And so I just wasn't really sure how they were going to pull it off. And I think it was that moment that I was like, oh man, this is legit.
Yeah, this is fucking hard. That was extreme.
Yeah.
Dear God, just being launched through a windshield and you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, that's something else, man. I'll go to my honorable mentions next. Here's one that we don't really talk about: the catapult into the tailgate spot. Do you remember that?
I do. I don't think it's an honorable mention. You
don't think so? I thought like it looked. I don't know why. To me, it looked like it hurt a little bit more than what was expected.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just go to the next one.
This is your segment, and I will say, last week, Jasmine got mad at me and said that we gaslit you into changing your rating last week into a 5 cookie thing. But then I said, babe, it's Terry Funk. He always gets 5 cookies. And she said, I don't care. You gaslit Cookie.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you for having my back. Once again, Aaron, you guys always bully me. You bully me into what you want to hear. Okay. You know what? So if Terry Funk gets 3, I'm just kidding. That Terry Funk does always get 5 stars. That is true. Terry Funk is the man. He's a G. From now on, he will always get 5 cookies.
Yeah, take that, Jasmine.
But I swear, if you say like that match doesn't deserve 5 cookies in the future, I will go back to this moment right here and be like, you know what, Aaron? He always gets 5 cookies, no matter what, right? No matter fucking what.
No, Terry always gets 5. I'm just saying.
Right. I just want you to keep that same energy, Aaron. That's all.
We will.
So like, if
when we do Terry Funk Week version 75, in the future.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Just making sure. All right. So going back to my honorable mentions, catapulting to the tailgate. I thought it looked a little bit crazier than what it was. The sledgehammer through the windshield, great aesthetic because it just stayed there like throughout the entire match. You just had a fucking sledgehammer through a windshield. Also, a suplex on the trash cans. Boys, I used to wrestle a lot as a kid. I don't know if you guys ever did this, but like I used to like jump off of trash cans and also like I would like be power slammed on the trash cans. Very unpredictable. I have definitely bounced off of one and like almost like broken my neck from doing that. So
Tolbert's bounced off a trash can before.
Yep.
I don't think you were wrestling, were you, Tolbert?
No, it was Zane did it.
Dawson was putting me through a table.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Dear God, we need to do that again, Aaron.
No, we need to put Tolbert through another thing.
Well, maybe not Tolbert. I mean, we could put you
sore for a week.
A week?
Yeah, it was pretty good impact. They're flat back piece of plywood. That did not give.
That is fair. And plus, you had Zane and you had Big Mike putting you through it. Too,
They put a little force into it.
Yeah, I'm sure they put a little umph into it to make it look good. Was that the pizza guy? That was Domino's. That was there. Right?
That was Domino's ninth. He did not touch Tolbert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I just remember him being there. That was a wild night.
He was holding the boom mic, and I'm sure he got fired that night.
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty positive he did too.
Yeah. Have you ordered Domino's since then, and have you seen them?
I have not, just because it would be awkward.
Yes, probably.
2148 Harrison Street.
This motherfucker.
I lost my job because of him.
Yeah. Number 4.
All right, last one, boys. You know what? Santana and Ortiz, they were trying to finish this match off, and they were going to go in the trunk. They were going to pop the trunk on the best friend's bitch asses, right? But guess who comes out of the trunk? It wasn't a gun. It wasn't like Brian Pillman. There was no gun. It was Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy pops out of this trunk. The other best friend, he comes out, a couple of orange punches. Chuck drops Santana on his head with a pile driver on the hood of a whatever Toyota that was, the red Toyota in the corner.
Right.
And then Trent does a dude buster through a piece of plywood in that old Chevy truck in the corner. 1, 2, 3. You get the end of a beautiful but chaotic street fight. And you know what the icing on the cake was?
What's the icing?
Trent's mom comes back with a new van to pick up her boys. And you know what? She drives off with the boys. And in that very final moment, when you see the AEW title screen at the bottom, she just flips off the camera. She just flips off the camera and says, you know what? Fuck those boys, Santana and Ortiz.
Absolutely. One of the best endings to any professional wrestling show ever. I felt that the finger out the window, chef's kiss.
Absolutely. I mean, and this match, man, again, unpredictable. When you're messing with stuff with cars, glass, and stuff like that, hoods, you don't know, the people can slip. Very, very extreme, very dangerous match. But these guys, they put together a 15-minute classic, balls to the wall, and it was something, man. It was, I believe it's a 5-cookie match.
Good.
Because I thought it was just that good. And especially in the moment, we were all popping for just about every spot that they did. I don't think there was ever a lull, a wrap it up, boys, nothing like that.
Yeah, I felt that it was one of the best matches of pandemic era AEW. Hopefully they can continue some of those awesome matches. We got to see Blood and Guts, which I felt continued that chaos and awesomeness. Hopefully some more in the future.
Absolutely. And you know what? I was just thinking about this. Wasn't Blood and Guts supposed to happen pre-pandemic or like right around the pandemic?
Yeah, it was like right when shit popped off. It was going to be the Inner Circle versus the Elite. But it was like legitimately right when everything was like shutting down completely.
That's what it was. Okay. Yep. It's a shame.
I think this one ended up better than that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right, finally, we're here. We don't have a match, but we do have a saga. Tolbert, for your Mother's Day gift, I give you Mark Henry and Mae Young.
I still hate you for this. I pulled up the Google Doc and I was like, this motherfucker. But
you had 4 beautiful links. It's a love story.
He sent me the whole vignette. He sent me the whole love saga, which I did not need it to be reminded about because I watched this live as a kid, as a preteen in my living room.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know. I think at this point in my life, I had gone through maybe the first growth and changes class where I kind of learned what a night boner was and stuff like that. But I didn't understand the biological processes of having a child. And this taught me.
Well, this was 2000, Varnum. I think I was 14.
I was 14. Never mind.
Hopefully you would have learned by then, homie. But if you didn't, this probably taught a lot of people watching wrestling that probably didn't. The
wrong things.
Yes. So, oh man, I was grossed out the first time I watched this. I'm still grossed out to this day when I watch this. But the first little clip we have, the vignette, it is Mark Henry and Mae Young, a very old Mae Young. If you are not familiar who Mae Young is, she's a classic women's wrestler. She's probably in her 80s, 70s at this point. Then we have Sexual Chocolate himself, Mr. Mark Henry, looking suave. They're in a restaurant setting, and they are professing their love to each other. And she informs him that she's pregnant. Yes, all 70-something years old of her. And
like
Mark
Sarah
Henry,
in the Bible.
Just like the Bible, Varnum, just like the Bible. So Mark, being the upstanding gentleman that he is, he starts showering his lover, the mother to his new child, with gifts that she might need during the pregnancy. One of them is, which he mispronounces, is some hemorrhoid cream. What does he say? He mispronounces hemorrhoids, and it's pretty comical. But she goes, "Oh, thank you, honey. I already got those." And she graciously accepts the hemorrhoid cream. He comes back with some stretch mark lotion to rub on her belly. She's like, "You gonna rub that on my belly, baby?" Yeah, he comes back with a breast pump that she almost models on him.
Oh, dear God.
So Mark is, very excited to become a father.
I think he's going to be a great father.
Oh yeah, one of the strongest guys in the world. Probably one of the strongest dads in the world. Anyway, we cut to the second vignette, and oh God, this is where Mae Young and Mark Henry are checking into a hotel, and they're at the front desk. He's very excited, and the clerk at the desk is like, "Oh, would you like 2 conjoining rooms? Obviously you're friends." He's like, "Nah, dog, we need 1 room. Matter of fact, give me a honeymoon suite." You get that honeymoon suite? Then they start sweet talking and smooching on each other. And this guy he's taken aback.
Clearly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it reminded me of this one time. I have to share the story because it brought back some memories when I was selling cars.
You sold cars?
Oh, yeah, dude. I worked at Hendrick Toyota for almost 2 years. This is back in like 07, 08, though. So 2008 was not a good time to sell cars. But anyway, it was rough in the streets. And I was out there hitting the bricks. And this older black guy comes up, and he looks young, like he's, he doesn't look that old. And he has this old lady with him, much older looking. She is of Asian descent. I think she was Korean. And he was wearing a veteran's hat. Obviously, he was in the war. I should have put 2 and 2 together, but I was probably stoned, not paying attention. And trying to sell this guy a car. And instead of calling him his wife, I'm like, "Oh, you brought your mother along with you."
Did not sell a car.
No, I did not sell a car that day. Long story short.
When I first started working at the hospital, because you have to ask people like these subjective questions, like, do you live alone, or who do you live with? What's your house situation look like? All this sort of stuff. I've been burned more times than I can count when I'm like, they're like, "Oh, I live with them." I'm like, oh, is that your spouse? Like, no, that's my husband or my daughter or my son. Like, oh, okay. Or, oh, I live with them. I'm like, oh, is that your daughter? No, that's my wife. I'm just like, God damn it, I'm done with this.
Yeah, you don't guess.
So now, yeah, it's like, oh, you live with them? Who are they?
In what relation are they to you?
Yeah, and I've seen it both ways. I've seen like, obviously, I mean, very typical. You get the older guy with the younger girl, but I've seen like 50-year-old dudes with like 75-year-old women.
Yeah, this is one of those cases, man. And like I said, I did not sell a car that day. He yelled at me, "My mother, that's my wife," like stormed off. But anyway, the clerk at this hotel desk, he was a true professional. He did not let it faze him. And like a true professional, you don't say anything to like walk away. You murmur it behind their back. And he's just like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, we cut to the hotel scene, which is, I think, the pinnacle of this love saga. Henry is derobed and in bed.
And he's getting ready. He's getting
ready. He pulls the shorts off under the covers, which is a
classic
great move. Classic move. So you're naked on arrival, but it's like a surprise, But and May comes out in her lingerie, ready to give him his present. And we have a little shot of them under the covers rustling around, which is gross. The sound effects are even grosser. She comes back out. She's like, "Oh, baby, I got to give you your Valentine's gift," which is a pair of edible undies, which she proceeds to put on and get in bed with Mark Henry. And I think he ate those edible undies, man.
Maybe the greatest line of the entire saga is Mark Henry screaming, "Tutti frutti!"
which may or may not make appearance in the HighKu this week.
Tutti frutti.
I believe the line is tutti frutti.
Oh my God. They cut to Jerry the King Lawler just throwing up in his crown, that's exactly how everyone felt, I think.
So that's a good segue to our next scene, our next and final, second to last scene of, let's see. We actually get some sort of a wrestling match in this. We get a shot of Henry. I don't even know who he was wrestling, but
Crash Holly.
Yes, Crash Holly. And we see Mae Young do a little splash on Crash Holly. Everyone
not good to do when you're pregnant.
No, everyone's all upset, and she is. This gets very uncomfortable. She's rolling around the ring, like in pain, holding her stomach. The announcer's like, "Oh my God, she's with child. She's in labor," and they take her back to the back room where we have Mae Young. What was the other female wrestler, the old one?
Fabulous Moolah.
Yeah, Fabulous Moolah was back there with her smoker's voice and old ass. And we got a paramedic. We've got Mark Henry, and we've got Patterson
Briscoe.
Yeah, of course. And at this era, man, they're always just hanging around in the background doing dumb shit. But she is on the table, and she is proceeding to deliver this baby, and the paramedic has got her knees up, lift up her skirt, and he goes, "Miss Young, when's the last time you had your period?" And she goes, 1957. She also, in the process, saying she's not going to have this baby until she lights up a cigar. So they give her a cigar.
Is that safe, Mike?
Absolutely not.
But we got a lot of things going on. The paramedic is perplexed by her answer, and we get some fart noises, and
which I am perplexed about.
Yeah, and we get all kinds of stuff. Everyone's holding their noses, and we start getting some rubber balloon sounds, like someone's rubbing on a rubber balloon. And just to wrap this up, man, she bursts a hand.
Yes.
A placenta covered hand, which is disgusting. And to this day, I remember seeing this live. I never knew why, the rhyme or reason behind this.
I don't think anybody did.
It made no sense whatsoever. Vince McMahon was in the back laughing his ass off. And I've listened to not Cornette's podcast. What's the other one? Pruitt's podcast.
Bruce, something to wrestle.
Bruce Pritchard's. Yeah, Bruce Pritchard's. And he actually talks about this a little bit, I think, on one of his episodes. And yeah, even they don't know what the hell was going on. But yeah, disturbing visuals, disturbing everything. And the last vignette we get is Mae Young walking by the women's locker room with a guy in a giant hand costume. She's like, I just want to introduce my son.
Yep.
Gives a little finger wave.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and that's it. So not much storyline behind that either. So I think to this day, it's still a mystery.
One of the greatest mothers in all of professional wrestling, though. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Tolbert, give me your
It's
HighKu.
ridiculous. All right. Tutti frutti. What is this? Henry blowing old backs out. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Henry blew that back out.
Well, yep. That's great. Any final thoughts on the old handy over there, Mike?
No, I was just
Mike, imagine watching this as like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, as an adult, I was very disturbed through this whole process. But like, yeah, just walking through it video by video, it's like, what is going to happen next?
Did you know it was going to happen?
No, I had no idea. I hadn't watched this at all. I had heard about it, the love affair with Mark Henry, but not the aftermath of the labor-inducing
the hand
move and the hand
Hopefully,
being birthed.
if Mark ever makes it to a WrestleCade, that'd be great to ask him how his son's doing.
Yeah, yeah. It would have been better, I think, if it would have been like a big giant black hand like Mark Henry, but
Yeah, that would have been funny.
like instead of just like pale ass white hand. But
Yeah, I would
whatever.
have had some questions.
Cookie,
Hey, Mark,
your thoughts on the hand?
I thought the hand was a little discolored. I think Mae Young may have cheated. On who? I don't know. Maybe Val Venus.
Maybe Gerald Briscoe. He was the one that was the most disturbed by the whole thing.
Yeah, he was definitely south of the equator.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and he threw up afterwards too. It was. Oh, I threw up too.
Yeah, I don't know what was going through Vince's head on this one.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was 2000s. Maybe he was just jacked on steroids.
Well, he was, but anyways. Thank you to all the mothers. This was a phenomenal tribute to being a mom here on the $2 Steak Podcast.
Was it?
I feel that this really, goes through the process and some of the things that you have to do as the matriarch of a family. You got to encourage. You got to make sure that your kid grows up into a big, strong man. And you gotta just be there for your kid. Thank you to all the mothers out there. Any final thoughts from anybody about mothers?
God bless him.
God bless him.
Yes, Cookie.
Oh no, I was just doing what Trent's mom did. That was
Gotcha. You're
tribute
giving me
to
the
Trent's
finger.
mom.
Yep.
Yeah, giving you the finger.
Well, thank you for listening to $2 Steak, a professional wrestling podcast. You'll hear from us again next week.
Toodles.
Oh, fuck you, Chase.
Yeah.